cold and frigid, but not so barren if you knew where to look and what to look for. The north was hostile, and it was unforgiving, but it was not totally inhospitable, not to its native children at the very least. An Imperial, or even one of those sun-baked Red Guards, could easily find their toes numbing up if they were caught out in one of Skyrim's howling snowstorms. But not a Nord. No, it was almost as if the snow recognized that race as its own. The cold always seemed to brush off their skin easily enough anyway. Crunch, crack, crunch. The ice parted below the feet of a tall and cloaked stranger. No Khajiit was he. No ears could be seen coning the top of his hood, and he was much too tall to be a Red Guard, an Imperial, or even some kind of Manmer, and he was far too burly to be any type of elf. So large was he, that the stranger almost looked the part of a thick-set bear, but one that was all dressed up in fine furs, and deigning to walk upon two legs like a man. Thump, creak, crack. The burly man carried, in his left hand, a sturdy staff of some unknown hardwood. The staff poked deep holes into the snow beside his own footprints every time he let it rise and fall. If the howling wind and snow and the consuming nature of the night hadn't been blocking out nearly all the available light all around, one would be able to see a small light flickering at the top of the equally odd pole of wood that the stranger carried. However, despite the snow and the low light, the stranger seemed to be getting on just fine through the thick hail and furling snowflakes. The ice didn't seem to touch him. It fell from the sky, but it only landed upon his clothes. When it came within an inch to his hands or the shadowed face that was under his hood, the snow just seemed to stop midway through its harsh, aerial dance, and make its way towards the opposite direction that it had, only moments ago, seemed very intent on falling towards. Creak, crack, thump. The hooded stranger's boots stepped from the snow and onto a small wooden plank. Deep and high in the mountains, he had reached his destination, a stout, short, Nordic, and ugly cabin. The man continued up the cabin steps, and then placed his hand upon a frost-painted door, and for the first time he seemed to flinch from some apparently new sensation of cold. The door didn't budge at the first push of the hairy hand that had been placed upon it. The man shoved a little harder, however, and the ice that had accumulated at the base of the wooden door cracked and broke apart, and the door swung open.